Back with another episode of The Crossover, your host, Ravi and B. We've been away for a few weeks with the holidays and stuff, but we're back to talk NBA, the association. So this week, Ravi, man, I think we'll have a little fun. We're about a month out from the big game here in the T-Dot. AllStar Game, history's being made. First time outside of the U.S. It's in Toronto finally. A true party town that can handle this type of event. So we're both looking forward to this. We're not looking forward to those prices that we're seeing right now since the prices came out this week, but we're looking forward to the event nonetheless, man. So here's the topic of the day, and we like all you guys to chime in on this. Do you see both backcourt players, DeRozan and Lowry, making the East All-Star team? And if so, why and how will they get in? I pose that to you, my friend.
Well, I definitely think they should get in. We just checked, just before we came online, we just checked the standings. Toronto at 2, 4 games out from the first place. I mean, right now, if you look at the overall statistics, I mean, I think we all know DeRozan and Lowry, those guys are the motor that's pushing the team forward right now. I think DeRozan is he's leading the team in scoring at 22.9 per game. Lowry's up there with, he's leading the team in assists 6.4 and steals 2.3 a game. So, we know what he can do on the offensive end too. So, I like seeing Lowry's all-around game right now, as well. And even I think his turnovers are they're not that high. It's, I think it's just over 2 a game right now, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, these guys, I think they're more than deserving. I mean, to have Toronto in the position that they're in right now, coming up to the half. I think if you look at the All-Star voting, DeRozan is 6th right now overall amongst guards in the East. Lowry's 3rd. So I think most likely it's going to be. It looks like it'll be Wade and Irving, the starting 2. I mean,
well, Lowry's not that far away from Irving, is he?
He's about 30,000 votes away.
Yeah, that's not that far away.
It's not that far away, and I mean, you can question the legitimacy of the Kyrie Irving voting. I mean, he hasn't really played at all this season.
Knowing Kyrie Irving, by the time you get the All-Star game, might be hurt again. So I mean,
very true.
I don't think Toronto fans have to worry too much about Lowry starting.
Very true. Very true. So,
he does have a knack of always being healthy though for All-Star weekend though. You always find that amazing.
Yeah, everyone has the best best training game diets on point. The All-Star game.
He's always hurt at the beginning or he's hurt at the end of the season, but boy, I tell you, boy, around this time he's making sure he's healthy. He ain't missing that fun and sun, or in this case, just fun.
Just the fun.
Oh, jeez. Well, I think I agree with you. Both of them should get in, but I think it will depend on some factors. I think it's where they end up when it's all said and done near the, about 3 weeks time. I guess around the first week of February or so. And if they're still in the position they are now, then yes. But if they drop, say they get to 6 in this case here, and how the East is these days, a 3-game losing streak, you could be in 6th spot. And if that's the case, I think it would be hard to justify putting 2 of them on the team. Not saying I don't think they should be well and deserving, but I mean, so many good teams in the East. They want representatives from all across those teams. So, I guess the only thing is, it's a numbers game, right? We're looking at, 12? What are they doing now? 13 spots? I can't remember if they added the extra spot or not, but I think it's still 12.
12 to 13.
Yeah, I think it's 12. But, so if you're looking at 12 spots, and you're saying it's 6 front court, 6 back court, let's put it that way to make it simple. So you say the 2 stay healthy that are leading. You got 2 there, Wade and Irving. Now you're looking at 4 more spots for guards. So you're looking here at guard-wise, you're going to get who else will be in play in this case on the guard side.
But you're going to have Jimmy Butler for sure.
Right, so there's the 3rd one. That's another spot gone.
Yeah, you're going to have John Wall if he's healthy.
Right, that probably will be another spot that's in play. That's 4.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden things start getting dicey to get one more person we're forgetting. I'm trying to think who else is in play.
Well, I mean, I highly doubt they're going to put Derrick Rose in there.
No.
So I don't think you got to worry
about that. I mean, Milwaukee has no one. I mean Middleton. But Milwaukee's so far back, they're just out of it. So then you got to pick teams that are winning, right? So Atlanta, Teague would be interesting, right?
It would be interesting. I think even Isaiah Thomas in Boston is that's someone to kind of.
They got to move up for a Boston player to get a piece of that action. Yeah. They got to move up. So in my mind, like I think you have to look for a team that's, like I said before, that's why I think Atlanta's like a wild card, because Atlanta's gonna have a representative. They might be likely in the top 4, and not have a player in the team after having 4 last year.
Yeah,
I find it hard to believe in this case here they're not gonna have at least one Atlanta representative. Now it could come from the front court with one of the 2 forwards.
Yeah,
so that might be losing the spot there. So they're kind of playing against each other in Atlanta, with Horford and Millsap and Teague. Korver's doing his thing, but I'm not sure he's doing his thing like he was last year.
No, so, he's not.
No.
If you look at the AllStar voting, Millsap, he's 15th overall. He's front court player in voting right now.
Well, we know Atlanta's not going to get a lot of support when it comes to that. So they're going to get voted, and I don't know how many they'll put in, but I think that makes things a little dicier for both getting in. That's if they drop. If they don't and they stay around where they are in top 3, then I think both Raptors get in pretty easily in this case here.
I think the hometown factor definitely will.
One's for sure going to be in, but I think both of them. The question is now, if they only get one, which one will go?
Hey.
See, I got my theory in this case here.
For me, I would probably think it would be DeRozan.
I think DeRozan would be the likely of the 2 to go as well too.
Yeah.
But I know in this case here, U.S. media has a real fondness for Lowry in certain ways. But they do for DeRozan as well too. I think I shouldn't say it that way. Let's put it this way: the media loves Lowry. The league loves DeRozan. Because they're not picking Lowry for any U.S. Olympic teams to try for things like that, right? They never look for Lowry for that. Not once I've ever heard Lowry even considered for any international team.
Very true.
Right? But the media loves to talk about, Lowry's the dude in the team and it's his team and this and that. They like to throw that type of stuff. And I personally, if anyone's watching the Raptors, I mean, I get it. Lowry does make the team tick to some extent, but they're not going with DeRozan. And so I see him as, especially how his game has moved to another level this year. I think what we see with Lowry is the best we'll see from Lowry. I don't know if that's necessarily the case with DeRozan.
I think, I can see that to a certain extent. I think DeRozan.
You think Lowry could get better?
No, I'm talking about from DeRozan.
Yeah, I think DeRozan,
I think that there might be just a slight bit more for him to go to.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen the progression of his game from being able to show a little more patience in terms of reading the defense, running effective pick and rolls, not taking. I know last couple of seasons he had a tendency for taking, some wild mid-range shots for the most part, but I think those have been replaced by more drives to the basket this season, at least for what I've been seeing so far. But for me, it's a mental growth of what I'm seeing with his game. I think the 2 are tied in this case. I think the mental growth is coming from the fact that he has more confidence in his game. And what I mean by that is that there's 3 improvements. He's made this as a conscious decision or coaching in this case here. One, the other has helped him. One, which I've said for the longest time, more post-ups. He's your best post-up player. If it's up to me and you had to give Valanciunas 3 extra post attempts or give him the DeRozan, give him the DeRozan. Because one of 3 things are going to happen. A, he's going to score. B, he's going to foul. Yeah. C,
he's going to kick it out to the guy at the 3-point line for an open 3. I can't guarantee any of those things if Valanciunas gets to the post.
Yeah.
So it's rare that you're going to come up with a negative coming out with him in the post. So that's one thing. Second thing is the mid-range jump shot. That's always been there, but the thing he's doing this year better than his previous years, he's getting one step closer to shoot that mid-range jumper. So instead of a 17, 18-footer, it's now a 15, 16-footer, which is kind of what we call the old Paul Pierce Kobe shot from the elbow, right? That shot. He would shoot that about a foot further back, which is a worse shot, as we all know. And I like say so. Just common sense, you play ball, it's like, it's further away. It makes sense. If you're that far away, you might as well take a 3. Yeah. So I think him getting that closer, and which leads to my third point of why I think in this case he's got more comfort, is that his ball handling has become better, and which leads to better decision making, and for him in this case, more of a threat to blow by guys. So guys are back up a little bit more on him on the mid-range. The guys aren't crowding him like how they used to see before, right? Because the word of DeRozan was, if he's in the mid-range game, you put some length on him, make it a little uncomfortable for him, and let him try to pull up for a jump shot from the mid range. And you have the strength or the ability to actually beat a guy off the bounce. Now in this case here now, because his ball handling the ball handling sets up the playmaking ability even more, you gotta back up a little bit. And the moment you back up, you're in the paint. That's like a 15-footer for him, no problem. And I think all those things with his ability to get to the line just makes him a very devastating and unusual player in today's game. Because he's really kind of old school. We talked about the article we read, this past week is like, he is old school in a sense, with the exception of the three, his game, now slow it down, folks, when I say this, okay, because calm it down. Just saying it's modeled. I'm not saying he is. It's modeled of players that play his position in the past, be it Kobe in his early years, be it Jordan in his early years, be it Wade. Up to now, Wade's still the case, because before Jordan had a three-point shot, essentially this type of game was what Jordan used to do. Post-ups, devastating drives to the hoop, and just coming at you. And of course, a nice mid-range game for the most part was his game. I'm sure when you watch that 63-point game against Boston, there ain't a lot of threes getting jacked up in that game. In his early years. This is what you're seeing. That game doesn't really exist in the NBA anymore. DeRozan's kind of a throwback in that sense of a two-guard of the past. While someone like Klay Thompson's kind of like a nouveau, and to some extent Harden, are kind of today's modern-day two-guard, how they get their points. Threes and free throws. While DeRozan has the free throw component, which has always been part of any great scorer as a two, he's keeping the mid-range game alive and using it effectively in this case. But, I think both guys should be there, a month from time here in the T-Dot, playing home against the home crowd. I think this is a big moment for the city, man. I'll just say it that much. We'll get more into it as we get to that game. We're going to have a big-time blow-up about the AllStar Game, state of basketball, around Toronto and Canada about it. But, we won't. I think that when we get the AllStar Game weekend, I think we should do something like that, because I think as Canadians, to see where the sport's gone to and grow, I mean, when we got a team in mid-90s, when we saw a team and they were in a dinosaur, who knew that this team would be a team that would be, a team that would be a top team in the East and hosting the All-Star Game? It's something for, I guess, in this case, Raptor fans and Canadians to feel proud of where this team and this franchise has gone to. So, I don't know. What's your thoughts to wrap things up, man? Because that's my point. I'm done right now on that. But
yeah, no, I mean, I think we're all looking forward to the game in about a month's time.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a lot of events going on for the city, a lot of exposure for the city, a lot of, I guess if you want to go back to 94, 95 when the team first launched, you're absolutely right. No one thought, we would ever reach these heights, if you want to call it these heights.
Let's keep it.
And I'll use heights.
Right. Let's. I know. I can already see folks already starting to get the comments boards right here on Facebook. Like, heights. There's only one playoff series. Like, I get it. Like, we all know. Believe me.
Exactly.
Robbie and I watched many of a game in this case for those moments. We remember Vince in the shop. I was at his house. We know how it goes down.
We know.
We've been there from day one. So there ain't no bandwagon jumpers here. We understand the pain. We reflect the pain. But I think just from a standpoint of just kind of getting your stuff together, it's finally good to see that they got their stuff together. Like, there's an operation in place now of like a legitimate basketball entity and force. I think in this case here, before the Raptors just be just doing stuff willy-nilly, there definitely seems to be a game plan how they're doing things. Be it how they're marketing the team, how they're promoting the team, how they're got a 905 team now. They're building an infrastructure, and how they're working themselves around Canada. There's a game plan behind a lot of this,
Exactly. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have Drizzy on board as the
well, I even mentioned him, right? So all this is all tied into it, and I think sometimes you just gotta give Jack his jacket, and the Raptors, it's hard sometimes for us as fans to give them their due at any time, but I think this time, just from a standpoint of how the franchise has been kind of turned around, and I can legitimately say that it's always been I think it's always been an underappreciated basketball city, but I think overall now the media is slowly catching up to what we've always known. What's going on here, kind of like on the streets. That the media is finally kind of catching up. where you're seeing infrastructure slowly getting built around, you know.
I mean,
Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, aside from the infrastructure within the city, I think even just general commentating. I mean, if you want to look at it, I think for the longest time, Raptor games or anything like that. I mean, even when they were being shown on U.S. stations, commentators, it was almost as if they were, they were trying to teach the Canadian audience the game.
Right.
And I think a lot of that has disappeared.
We'll talk to Leo Routins about that. But anyways, man, he finally got off that horse, man. It only took him about 15 years or so before he started, treating folks with common sense. But anyways, I don't want to rant too much about that. We got plenty of time to get the All-Star Weekend to get into this more. So, man, for Ravi, where can the good folks find you, man?
You guys can find me at Ravi Narayan on Instagram.
Okay, and you can find me at Beyond Locker Room, short form RM, folks. Take care, and we'll talk to y'all next week.